Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Rotor Talk Live, Season 4, Episode 41, DJI Mini 3, Autel Nano, DJ Mavic 3 Pro updates. How is everyone doing? I know we got a lot of people in the house, and we got a good show tonight. I mean, we have a super show in the house. Ray Kelly's here. Mr. Lauren Donauer's here. Drone Views Media, Mr. Stephen Ewing. Thank you, Stephen, for showing up. Appreciate that a great deal. Grumpy Vlogger, Lloyd, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. Leonard Oglesby is here. TEB Drone Flyer is here. We have Johnny Drone Flyer here. And Johnny, thanks so much for stopping by last week. Really appreciated you being on the show. Brad Henderson's here. John Olson is here. Let's see who else we got. Quadcopters and Tech. Akarasho is here. Let's see who else we have here. I think I've covered just about everybody tonight. Guys, it's like a never-ending news fest right now. Okay, it just does the beat goes on. Oh, we're doing something new tonight. If you follow me on Twitter, Bill the Drone Reviewer, guess what? The live stream. They don't do Periscope anymore on Twitter, but through StreamYard, we're now out on Twitter. So we're trying this out. If for some reason you happen to be on Twitter, you're going to be able to catch it. So that's a cool thing. So Marcel off Axis FPV, thank you for the super chat there. Appreciate that. All right. Like I said, got a lot to talk about. That's a first. So if you guys are, Twitter aficionados, enjoy that. Absolutely. It's nice the StreamYard allows me to be able to do that. We got a lot to talk about. I mean, a lot to talk about. Ron's going to join us in a little bit. Hopefully Marcus will be with us tonight. My goodness. I mean, it's just like, it's nonstop. I mean, the news doesn't stop. And I had set up the show for today, and I looked, and then there was more news to put onto that. So we have a ton to go through. I mean, a ton. Trini, welcome. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Wow. I mean, this is just crazy stuff. Okay. Busy. October, November, December. First line item. Want to make sure that we cover this. All right. Spin up a month away. I don't know the exact date. I know it's, I think first weekend in November. Guys, it'll be fantastic. Kelly puts on a grade A, first class, you name it. He's always does that. So if you have an opportunity, if you still have funds, if you want to do that, I highly encourage you to do that. You'll have a great time. And like I said, it'll be a great presentation. And from what I hear, it's at a different venue this year. So hopefully there'll be room to fly at the venue. I know that, evening before people usually get together, and I know the day after people usually get together as well. So it's a great weekend. If you can, by all means, okay? Absolutely. And one of the people, let me tell you this, all right? I'm going to tell you why Bill the Drone Viewer is not going to be there, all right? I missed my college reunion this weekend. Actually, it was last year, but they went ahead and they did it this year because of COVID last year, all right? I missed that. I'm going to miss Spin Up because we have several blessed events coming up, okay? Have some weddings in the family coming up this month. And also, crossing our fingers, it looks like my son-in-law, my daughter, and my granddaughter will be coming down probably around Christmas time. So I need to save my paid time off for that. That's the long story short. All right. First thing we're going to talk about tonight. All right. It's like, I can't. This is just. Hang on a second here, guys. DJI Mini 3. Just when you thought it couldn't get any more crazy, it is getting more crazy. All right. Now we're going to go to the article from Hey Kestelou. Now, I want to, we're gonna take a look at this and we're gonna talk about this for a few here. So, just thought, we want to go over this. Okay, DJI denies Mini 3. DJI Mini 3 existence denied by DJI spokesperson. A DJI representative denied knowledge of the Mini 3 over the weekend. A DJI spokesperson contacted DroneXL to explain there's been no discussion of a new sub 250-gram drone inside the company. Okay. Representative contacts say there has been no discussion of new DJI Mini 3 inside the company. So to imply that the information received regarding a very likely DJI Mini 3 launch on November 15th was inaccurate. While we believe the DJI spokesperson provided us with accurate information, it would not be the first time the world's biggest drone manufacturer informed us that a new drone would not be available in the U.S. market. Remember how back in June, Taiji, DJI's public relations director, told us that the company had currently no plans to sell this product, the Mini SE, in the U.S. or Europe. The new DJI Mini SE arrived in the United States about a month later. Okay. And then back in July, DJI representative informed me company planning to introduce 3 to 4 new products before the end of 2021. We already know the Mavic 3 and Action 2 are on the way. We know the release dates of these products, Mavic 3 on 10/20 and Action 2 on 10/27. We know there's at least one other DJI release plan for later this year, rumored to be on November 15th. Well, DJI let Autel eat its lunch. Autel Robotics, we're going to talk about Autel here in a second. To believe that DJI would allow Autel to introduce a new and improved drone, Evo Nano series, to the market without providing a suitable response is uncharacteristic of DJI. The world's biggest drone manufacturer did not become the industry's dominating player by allowing other companies to eat its lunch. So where do we go from here? Well, if the DJI spokesperson is correct, we'll not see a Mini 3 on November 15th. Unless DJI wants to keep the new drone under wraps, just like keeping things under secret when the Mini SE arrived unexpectedly earlier this year. DJI released the original Mini in fall of 2019, only replaced it 1 year later with the Mini 2, followed shortly by the Mini SE. DJI's product cycles have been equally quick with a Pocket and Pocket 2, as well as the OM4 and OM5. So while we think the spokesperson is providing us with accurate information, I wouldn't be shocked if DJI still comes with a Mini 3 this fall. And I sure hope they do. Okay. Last unanswered question. If there not be a Mini 3 arriving November 15th, what other products will DJI introduce this year? All right. So, yeah. So that's what we have with this article right here. Now, money, lots of money. Let's go under the assumption, all right, what the spokesperson said was true, but they're still planning on doing the release. All right. They're telling us the truth at the time, but they will do the release. All right. It's going to mean very tight wallets. Okay. Because, with the Mini 3's coming out, the Action 2 is coming out. It's not the Osmo Action, it's the Action 2. And then, of course, the Mavic 3, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Now, one of the things, just to clear things up, some people have said that I claimed the Mini was going to be released November 15th. I did not. I said that there is an event planned for the 15th, and it could be the Mini 3. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that, and thank you for being upfront and absolutely clear about that. And I wanted to call that out to attention, just to make sure, because Lauren is a above board guy. We thank him for him being just a great all around part of the drone community, and we thank him for what he helps us out with in terms of being able to provide information, and just some of his photographs are absolutely stellar, and you need to check those out, by the way, if you haven't. So that's what we have for that. DJI did put out a big banner about a November 15th release. Okay, so it's kind of like we'll see, but okay. And I've talked about this with Ron and with Marcus. Frank Wang doesn't like to look in the rearview mirror. He doesn't like to look over his shoulder. Okay, DJI wants to set the bar. Oh, that's great, Ray. I'm glad you're watching on Twitter as well. Thank you. DJI wants to set the bar. They don't want other people to set the bar. In other words, with Autel setting the bar with the Nano, and we're going to talk about the Nano here in just a few. So, you know, if I were a betting man, yeah, they're going to release the Mini 3. All right. Pricing, specs. Let me put it to you this way. Okay. It's going to do, and I'm going to go out on a limb because there's been absolutely nothing. This is what I'm about to tell you guys is pure speculation. Okay. Lauren, thank you for adding that. If it's not the Mini, it could be the Osmo Pro or another product I'm not aware of. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's say, for argument's sake, it is the Mini 3. All right. One thing I will tell you is this. All right. It will do everything that the Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro was supposed to do, and do it well, and do it right out of the box without 500 firmware updates in order to get the dang thing to work. Okay. And not falling out of the sky and having connection issues and all that kind of good stuff. And, I know Marcus had, his share with that, and other people have too. Greg Pittman lost his first one. And, it's just a lot going on with that. But I can tell you this, it will be the king of the minis. All right. It will be absolutely fantastic. Will it be better than what Autel has out? Like I said, there's no information about that, so I can't answer that question. All right. So I wish I could. I can't answer that though. But look at it this way. All right. Like I said, DJI likes to set the bar. They don't like to play follow the leader. Okay. They like to be the leader in all aspects. Okay. And I can tell you, and we're going to talk about the Mavic 3 here in a little bit, but they want people to follow them. They don't want to follow. And it's been Frank Wang since day one. Okay. That's a good point, Recovery One Drone. Thank you. Autel is not setting the bar in technology, only in pricing. Autel is seeing how much they can get people to spend on mid-range drones. That's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, and yeah, Johnny, we're gonna talk about that here in a little bit. So, but yeah, as far as the Mini 3 is concerned, and as far as pricing is concerned, that's wide open, guys. Feature set, everything. Expect it to be competitive with what Autel is coming out with. Okay, the prices on the Nano series, and you know what, and for that matter here, okay, DJI wants to be number one. That's right, Ray. 100%. Okay, Autel Nano. All right. I know if you guys watched Ron and Marcus last night on Drone Nation, they did a fantastic. They covered this subject very well. I'm going to add a few little caveats of my own tonight to this, and I'd like to thank Recovery One Drone for throwing in some good comments right away about this. And I'll say this about Autel. Now, first of all, let's go to that article from Drone XL. And it was about the announcement here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, and I want to share this, and we're going to go over this here real quick because I think it's important to line things up here as far as this is concerned. And of course, this was from last week. The Autel Evo Nano Plus package with a 1.28 inch CMOS sensor capable of 50 megapixel photos, RYYB color filter array designed with a large aperture of f/1.9 offers superior noise reduction capabilities. And you can see the color options here available for the Nano. And then the Evo Nano, the regular Nano, okay, it has a 48 megapixel camera, half-inch sensor, 4K video at 30 frames per second. All right. And you can see the two prices here, $799 and $649. All right. Now, these are kind of high. Prices are kind of high, but they do have a pretty rich feature set here. Now, it doesn't look, if somebody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you, Lauren. That is a good point. I think this is going to be a great drone. Okay. Am I going to get it immediately? Probably not, because of cash considerations. Okay. And we're going to get to that here in a little bit, but I think it's a good drone. Do I think, these prices are kind of high, but they do have a lot of features. Now, I'm not, the obstacle avoidance on this, I'm not sure it's going to have any side obstacle avoidance or top, or, looking on the rear, I'm not really seeing anything as far as that's concerned. So it's going to be interesting to see what it's going for. Automated shooting modes, Movie Master, Autel Skylink, and sonar sound, capture voices and ground-based ambient noise with remote controls, built-in microphone, advanced obstacle avoidance technology. Okay. Ideal choice for drone one. Okay. It's probably front facing. Yeah. Well, it does have, okay. I take that back. All right. It has front, it has bottom, and it has rear obstacle avoidance. The flight time on this, I mean, it has a pretty robust set of features on it for what we're seeing here. Pricing, as far as pricing is concerned, I think Autel's a little high on the pricing. Greg Pittman, welcome. Glad you're here tonight. Matt Bagwell, welcome. Forward and back and bottom. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah. I just saw that. Okay. So, it does have all these things, and I think it's going to work very well. Unlike the Hubsan and FIMI, tries at a mini drone, I think Autel's is going to work out of the box. I think. Okay. I think they've put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this, and I think it's going to be a good drone. Is it going to be better than a Mini 3? Can't answer that question. Have no idea. Will I end up getting it? Yes, I will at some point. Probably not. Probably not now, because Mavic 3 is coming out. Okay. And I'm saving my nickels and dimes, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. All right. But one of the things that you need to know is, they said that Autel is going to be probably a little bit later this month in October. So I believe that they've geared up. I don't think, I know we talked last week about, the first go around with the Evo and the delay in production and everything. I don't think we're going to face that. I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Okay. I think we're going to have, there's going to be units available. You will be able to buy it. You will be able to purchase it. And I think there's a new app too for this, if I'm not mistaken. So there's a lot to look forward to with this drone. I think it's going to be good. My only thing is the Recovery One drone. That's a good point. The only thing that I'm leery of is pricing on this. I think pricing is too high. I think they're asking too much for both of those. Okay. That's just my opinion. All right. With everything that's on it. So we'll see. Well, if it comes out of the gate and does what it says it's going to do without having to do the gargantuan number of software updates before it works, I think it'll do well. I think it'll do well for Autel. I really do. So that's where we're at with the Nano Plus. Now, one of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about. Welcome, Bill Thomas. Thank you for stopping by tonight. The big difference between the Autel, okay. Big difference between the Autel Nano drones and the GR Mini 3 is simply this. We know the Nano exists. We still don't know if there'll be a Mini 3 this year. Great point, Stephen. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Greg Pittman, yeah, you're right. The price hurts, okay? Those, it's pretty robust. And you're talking about a mini drone, all right? And you spend just a couple hundred more, Air 2S guys. I mean, it's. I agree. I think Autel's done well here. I'm not so sure about the pricing, okay? Because let me put it to you this way, all right? When the Mini SE came out, it was like, you attract more flies with honey than vinegar. And you put out that wonderful price, people bought it, and people bought it in droves, okay? Think prices are okay with Johnny. That's a good, are up with labor and chip shortages. They're the first ones to post prices. You see the prices on the Mavic 3, it's going to be expensive. Yeah, Johnny, I agree. And we're going to talk about, it's one of the things we're going to take kind of a deep dive with the Mavic 3. We're going to talk about prices there. So yeah, that's a good point. While prices are up historically, okay, for those of you, and I've been a follower of, I had Autel X-Star Premium, so I've been following them for a long time, and historically their prices have been a little bit high. All right, I'm just saying, even in terms of labor, production, chip shortage, which I get and I understand, Johnny, and that's a great point. Other companies have the same thing. Okay, they have, and I know, and prices have gone up on a lot of things. You guys know that, I'm a radio control enthusiast, and prices have gone up there as well. Not as much, but they have gone up. And a lot of it has been mostly due to labor shortages more than anything. So, we'll see as far as the Nano is concerned. One of the other things that I kind of wanted to talk about here a little bit was before we start talking about the Mavic 3. I know that there were some, I did hear some things, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. The first thing, go ahead. I'm trying to find my article here. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the Osmo Action 2. Okay. The 250-gram drone isn't important to stateside with 107 holders. Over here, sub 250 is a big deal. Hotel market and support here, they'll make a killing. I agree, Stephen. You're absolutely right. Getting that under 250 grams is important over in Europe, in the UK. So and overseas. So that is a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Appreciate that. All right. Now, the other thing here that I kind of wanted to talk about for just a little bit is hang on here. And we want to talk about the Action 2. Now, as far as a release date is concerned, now if we remember that November 15th, it talked about a number 3 on there. So I don't necessarily think that's going to, it could happen on any of these dates. Okay. And we're going to talk about now I heard October 27th is a possible release date for that. Here's Ron. Hey, Ron, how are you, sir?
And we're gonna I was muting. I was having this show on another browser, so I wanted to get muted. I'm doing well tonight, Bill. Let me get adjusted here. You got me in real fast here tonight. I heard you just about to talk about the little DJI Action 2, the module camera system.
The module camera system. Well, you do. I'm not sure. There was a leak last week. And Peter McKinnon, and I don't know if you saw these pictures, but let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Okay, there it is out in the wild. All right. There's the box for it, and there's some of the accessories for it, and there it is up on top right there. So, one thing that I did hear. Hey, where did Ron go? Where did Ron go? Ron, you're welcome to come back. I don't know what happened. Maybe I hit something. I hope I didn't. I'm going to stop sharing there. So the Action 2 is going to be more than likely coming out on the 27th this month is what I think. Hopefully Ron will join us back here. Ron stepped out for a Coke. Okay. Ron got a better offer. That's not till 9, Lauren, when he's on with Mikey. Okay. But okay. Action 2. It's going to be out 27th this month. All right. I'm not a fan of the module design. I know Ron and I had talked about that a little bit, and he wasn't real crazy about it with the Insta360. I'm not real crazy about it with the Action 2. I think DJI could have done better with that. All right. Be that as it may, technically, I think it's going to be good. Are they going to have enough accessories to, having a separate viewfinder and all that? I'm just like, it's too much. It's really kind of too much. So I don't know. Go fund me to pay Ron's power bill. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Ron here. But to talk about this, have absolutely no idea as far as pricing is concerned on this. I'm going to imagine, at least $399, if not $499, probably, with accessories galore to this, as DJI normally does. It will be out in time for Black Friday. It will make a great gift. I still think, and I absolutely love the DJI Osmo Action. Okay. Patriot fans cut Ron off when they realized he was talking to a Tampa man. Oh, I love that, Steven. Yes, I absolutely love that. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Anyway, with all of that being said, all right, Action 2. All right. I expect it to do well. I expect it to sell well. I'm just not a fan of this modular design like this, the separate modules. I think having one module with everything you need on it and being able to add on to it is a good thing. I got mine all rigged up, and I love taking it out. I think it's great. I think it is absolutely great. So we'll see. It's coming out, on the 27th of the month. No idea as far as pricing is concerned. No idea. These things, like I said, it'll hit. It's going to come out with, it's going to be a soft release. We're not going to see. There's not going to be there's no big public deal. Obviously, a lot because of COVID-19. They're not going to do that. Plus, it saves DJI a boatload of money. And trust me when I tell you, these events cost DJI, like when I went to the Mavic 2 3 years ago, it's a boatload of money. DJI spends a ton of money on that. They put on a first-class presentation all the way. Absolutely, positively all the way. So that's what we got with that. All right. Here's Ron.
Sorry, Bill. I was having my whole computer froze up, and the only way out was to reboot everything.
No. That's fine. That's fine. I was just finishing up on the Action 2 and just kind of wanted to get a little bit of your thoughts. I mean, I know you
were about to break some news on some rumors just when I cut off. What was the big news?
October 27th is the date that we're supposed to see.
Oh, yeah.
The Action 2.
What day of the week is that, Bill?
That's a Wednesday.
Show. I will go to the calendar program.
That's a Wednesday. I can tell you that
so
right now.
That makes sense. That's the day they would release it. Okay.
28th is my payday. So I know payday each month. So and that's
Okay.
always a Thursday. So
There you
yeah.
go.
So it's gonna be on a Wednesday as far as that's concerned. And
You
then
know, my thoughts on you just by the leaks, rumors, whether it's true or not. I mean, you know, for a lot of people, that module system is going to come in good. I guess the FPV guys will be able to put that smaller unit on top of their FPV drones, and some action guys will be able to stick that to the top of helmets and so on. So, you know, I think it's, you know, a nice setup for me. I mean, I don't really need the module set up. I mean, you know, the GoPro Hero 10 is like small enough for my use. Because I'm not really mounted on stuff. So, you know, I'm more interested in only thing I'm interested in is you know, camera quality and sound quality, secondly, or whatever. How module it is, does it play into my use case? But I understand why it does, and a lot of people's.
yeah, and that makes perfect sense, Ron. And you know why DJI did this in a modular fashion, especially for the FPV drones, and it makes a lot of sense. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to work. I just would love to see what it looks like. And there's Mr. Marcus Crawford. How are you, sir?
Hey, listen, guys, I've been busy uploading video and doing stuff like that. But I got to be honest with you, Bill. I saw Ron on the show, and I just got so jealous. I thought, man, I got to log in.
Well, I was here and I was going though for a while.
Yeah, Ron. It's like somebody go, did Ron pay his light bill or what? You know?
Really?
Yeah, Ron was here, and then poof. It's like, okay, I'm trying to share.
I was on
screen.
Facebook yesterday, Bill.
Yeah, that was. You know, it's like somebody already is selling a T-shirt. I survived the great Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage of 10/3 or 10/4/21. Somebody
They may be selling a T-shirt. They may be selling a T-shirt, but the whole company may be for sale soon.
I don't know. That was like, you know, it's like somebody said the other day. I wouldn't be surprised to see green little spacemen start walking down the street. You know,
boys, yesterday would have been a good time to buy the stock. Facebook, well, I guess it's down 6 cents today, but it was up for most of the morning. So
yeah, they joked that Zuckerberg lost $7 billion yesterday.
Yeah, for Zuckerberg, $7 billion here, $7 billion there. Pretty soon,
a spare $7 billion he's got laying around on the shelf.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Well,
yeah, but
go for it.
Well, I just was going to say my phone's been blowing up. I got a big race tomorrow, so all my fellow club members are calling me, and you know, I'm busy trying to upload video. I did a big comparison today between all the minis. And then my wife gets home and she's got a million questions, but I couldn't miss the show, guys.
Now, were you out filming with the new DJI Action 2, or are you still under NDA on that camera?
Still under NDA on that. Actually, you know what, Ron? I was even too lazy to get out the GoPro Hero 10. I just had the 9 handy, so I just put the 9 up.
But before I popped in the show, I'm starting working on my review. I filmed it all, but I'm trying to edit my big Hero 10 unboxing and first look and all that stuff. So I'm a busy man too.
Well, what about Bill, Ron? I mean, you and I we're holding up all this new gear and stuff.
Well, Bill's waiting around for that Action 2. It's the day before payday for him.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the day before. Well, you know, it's the week before payday, supposedly, when the Mavic 3 is coming out, and that's what we're going to talk about right now.
Well, but before you jump into the Mavic 3, Bill, I think you better reserve $799 for the Autel Nano Plus.
Hey, Bill, you only thought this was your show.
Yeah. because DJI told Hey Kessler there's no Mini 3 coming out. So if you want the best Mini 3 drone this year, you're going to have to go over to the dark side with Autel. But of course, you started with Autel, so you're no stranger. Would you ever consider going back to Autel, Bill?
Oh, you know, as I said, and I talked about the Nano before you guys showed up, and I said, yes, I'm going to get it, but it's not going to be when it comes out. And the other thing, Hay put in that article about the Mini 3, he reminded us, he said, DJI told us flatly the Mini SE will not be for sale in the U.S. and Europe. 2 weeks later, guess what happens? It's
Hey,
for
I was
sale.
out flying it today, so
It's for sale. Okay. So, while he says they may be telling us the truth, that's the truth right now on paper. Okay. So I think DJI's, and as I said, okay, and we know Frank, and Frank's been talking to me a lot lately, and he says he wants people he doesn't want to be looking over his shoulder. He wants others to be looking at DJI taking the lead.
Do you think it's possible DJI will just see the upper tier of the mini drone market to Autel and just let it go? Say, hey, it's all yours, Autel. We're going to keep shipping the Mini 2 and SE. We'll just get the low hanging fruit. We'll let you have all the
No
customers.
No, they're not. Frank's not going to do that.
Yeah.
Frank is not going to do that. I can tell you that. I don't know that. I don't now see. That November 15th date is still a valid date because remember that graphic that came up and it had the number 3 on it and everybody thought it was for the Mavic 3. Right. No, it's the Mini 3, okay? And it's going to come out in November. I can just about, I looked at my crystal ball today, all right? And Frank called me on the bat line and said it's a done deal. So
because we had a couple Autel guys on last night, and the way they broke the camera down on the Nano Plus, that camera is so good. It's somewhere between the original Air 2 and the Air 2S. So you don't even start comparing to any other, to say the DJI mini drones or whatever. You have to go right up to the Air 2 line of drones for where that camera slots in.
I'm going to tell you about the Mini 3, and then we're going to switch gears here. The Mini 3 is going to do everything that the Xeno Mini Pro was going to do, only do it better and do it out of the box, okay? There's going to be no, like Marcus spends, I know Marcus spends time after time after time with his firmware updates on the Mini, and, you won't have to do that. The Mini 3 out of the box. Charge it up, ready to rock and roll.
You mean you won't have to wait for the fourth one to come in for it to work right?
or file a claim like our friend Greg Pittman had to do.
Like
no.
And
No.
Ross, yeah.
No.
Hey, I see Ted Bowman's in the chat. Ted, I could have used your help today, man. I was juggling drones like everything.
Okay. Mavic 3 Pro update. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, pricing, all right? And everybody's like, oh, dear God in heaven. Oh, my gosh, this pricing here. So I'm going to kind of go over it here. And I'm going to also, hi, Sarah.
Hi.
All right.
Let me tell you the wife I have. She's picking up all my litter on the floor and hauling it. She's just a sweetheart.
Marcus, did you get the drone room cleaned up yet, Marcus? Or
no, it's a this is just a disaster. She just asked me, she goes, Windsor, what's that? I said, well, what do you think it is, Sarah? It's a drone.
It's a drone. All right. Cine Premium Combo, $46.49. DJI Mavic 3 retail price confirmed higher than we anticipated. Okay. Originally thought it was $27.49 for the Flymore combo, $44.99 for the Cine Premium combo. And these are supposedly the real prices. $20.49 for the drone itself, $27.99 for the Flymore combo, and $46.49 for.
No, that makes no sense.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna do is this. Okay. And somebody gave me a clue, so we're gonna take a little bit of a look here. All right. And now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the Inspire series. All right, because they have Cine Premium on it. All right. Now, in order to get it, you need to get the advanced kit, which is okay. If you go up from, let's go up with a standard kit is $52.99. Okay, the advanced kit is $70.99. All right, so that's almost a $2,000 jump right here, just a little bit under that. And you can see right here, as I'm going down here, All right.
It comes with all those accessories.
Apple ProRes activation key. Okay.
Mhm.
And you know, and some of these other things. And you know, it also comes. Remember, it also comes with two Ascendance remote controller as well too. So it's a little different. So the reason that I wanted to bring this up was because I know a lot of people are having an absolute positive. And let me do one more thing before there's something else I want to talk about too. And I watched part of your show, and I know you guys kind of touched on this a little bit last night here. Oh, where's the article here? Okay. All right. Talk about the remote controller for the Mavic 3. Okay. Now, you know, I reread all these articles from Hay, and he did say that the remote controller, the Smart Controller 2.0, is only going to be included with the Cine Premium combo. All right. Now, you take a look at it, you know, there's not a lot in terms. Now, it's talking about it's going to have 1,000 nits. All right. What's the current one have, guys?
1,000 nits.
1,000 nits. Okay. Now, probably what you're going to get with this, okay, what he's talking about here as far as all this is concerned, it's pretty much this regular smart controller as we see it right now. All right.
With O3 and a faster processor.
With O3 and a faster processor. All right.
So why should that jump the price up if they're just doing basically just updating parts? Because the faster processor chip probably, you know, the list price is probably no more than the one they put in the original one. And O3 is their own technology, so why should they have to pay premium for their own technology? So it doesn't make any sense that this remote is a lot more money than the other one.
I agree, Ron, but I think it's not just the remote as far as this price is concerned. It's this Apple ProRes and license for it. Okay. I think
that shouldn't have anything to do with the remote, should it, Bill?
Well, no, not necessarily the remote. Okay, I'm talking what I want to try to get here is number one, the remote's only going to be available with this Cine Premium combo. All right, and the pricing with the Cine Premium combo, the reason that it is so much more is you can see the example. Somebody pointed it out to me in one of the comments. He said, take a look at the Inspire 2. When you go from the standard up to the one that includes the Cine Premium combo, okay, it's an $1,800 jump. And with that, now remember, you also get two remotes with the Inspire 2. You have one that controls the aircraft. The other one controls the camera. All right, a dedicated system as far as that's concerned. All right, and then you step up to they have Ascendance remote control. It has like a digital display on it. I'm not 100% sure on all the functions and features of it, but what you're paying for with this, okay, you know, roughly figure that the remote control, the new smart controller, $800. Let's just, you know, I know the original was around $600. I'm just going to say $800. All right, if you throw that on top of the price that we just saw. All right, now coming, you know, taking that into consideration, adding in also this Apple ProRes license. All right, you are paying for that. Okay, you are absolutely totally paying for that. And what I'm about to tell you is this. Okay, my advice. Okay, if you want to get the Cine Premium combo, if you can afford it, go ahead and do it. But what I'm telling you is this: I don't think that this is a Smart Controller 2.0. I think this was just that they took existing smart controllers, they upgraded the chipset on it, and they upgraded the firmware on it, and that was it. Okay, this is not Smart Controller 2.0. I think that's yet to come. I think that's going to be down the pike. What do you guys think?
But Bill, highlight Leonard Ogilvy's comment. It's like 3 comments back and is relevant to this conversation.
Yeah, he's talking about the ProRes license.
Yeah,
and then Lauren also brought up the SSD as part of that price too.
Yeah, you need the faster SSD to process all this ProRes video and store it because it's going to make immensely big files.
Right.
Yeah. And
Hey,
you know,
hey, back to Leonard's comment for a minute. Here's something that's just a little bit off. I mean, as far as I know, maybe Lauren could chime in here. When you buy a high end, like full frame regular camera, like say a high end Sony or Nikon or Canon, whatever, usually the ProRes, it's an option that you switch on in settings, and then of course you have to pay the fee yourself. But you know, you don't have to choose the hardware based on that. That's just the option that's in the hardware if you care to enable or not. But if what we're only going rumors, if DJI is like, basically selling you hardware and forcing you to take ProRes for at least 1 year, because Leonard's talking about have to renew it every year for some big amount of money. But why wouldn't it just be something you would just buy a M3 and have that setting in there? If you clicked on ProRes, as soon as you click on it, it takes you right to a link where you have to go over to Apple to buy it, or it doesn't stay on or whatever. That's the way it's sort of been done on cameras up to this point. So I don't know why DJI has to reinvent the wheel here.
I think what they're doing, Ron,
ProRes.
I think this is like, okay, let's say, and I'm just gonna do this for those, and I know you have an Apple computer, but for those that have a Windows-based system, and you buy some software for it, okay, and you get a license, or let's say you go out and you buy a new laptop, it includes XYZ software, and they give you the product key code for it in order to activate it, all right? You don't necessarily want it, but why not? It's no cost to you. It's a free year that you get. Okay. I think this is the same kind of thing that DJI is doing. Okay. That you're going to be able to get this, punch in, they'll give you an activation code. It'll be activated for a year. And then like Leonard said, you're going to start having to pay a license fee to keep using this. Now, I'm not familiar enough with that software to know how that works, but I can tell you this, okay? It's above my pay grade.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Rod explained it best last night. You know how, like on the photo side, we have raw video. You can shoot raw video. I mean, raw pictures, and raw pictures allows you to do more editing and post. Well, this is like raw video. You could actually take them into your editor and do much more pushing of colors, a dynamic range, and contrast, everything around, because it's that much bigger thing, just like a raw photo. So, but here's a little side note, Bill. If you buy the iPhone 13 Pro, and it's not available now, but it will be in a future update soon, you'll have ProRes video on your iPhone 13 without paying any fee or extra fee. Of course, it's all Apple. They couldn't charge you for their own software.
Rod, I just bought this today.
Oh, you got the pencil?
Yeah, but it's crappy. I don't know what kind of lead you have to put in it or whatever, but it doesn't write worth a damn.
Well, Marcus, is that the pencil 1 or pencil 2?
That's pencil 2.
Because you ordered you ordered the Mini 6 and you need the pencil 2.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I didn't see the 2 in there, so you had me worried for a minute.
Yeah. I got it at Costco. They had the 1, but I got the 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, back to Bill's thing. Yeah, I mean, the whole ProRes thing is going to be very confusing to the customers out there, Bill. And
yeah, it is.
It really,
I agree.
This is already like I mean, DJI's already going down a bad marketing hole, with this pricing for the ProRes and the smart controller only coming in that one bundle. It's going to frustrate people and probably, either slow people down from making the buying decision until they get it all sorted out, or not buy at all. So right now, I think they're hurting themselves. And again, none of us know what the ProRes thing is, but there's no reason the ProRes, you can't turn the ProRes, shouldn't be any reason why you can't turn the ProRes on any Mavic 3 as long as you click the button and pay the money. It doesn't make any sense that's locked. I mean, well, it does for as far as you have to have the hard drive space for it or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Yeah,
hey,
I mean, that's the only thing, but still, DJI, they can still sell you the Cinepack and not charge you the premium for the ProRes, and you just click the ProRes button off and don't use it or whatever. I mean, it should be that option to get that package without the ProRes just by not enabling the software.
Can I chime in here?
Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
Here's the thing. That information that we're looking at, if I understand it correctly, was translated from a Russian dealer got that document from DJI, and it's in Russian, and then it got leaked out to somebody in Europe and got translated into English. How do we know that those are even the packages that we're going to get? Number one, could be different in Russian than it is for the US. That's A. And then the prices. We have heard a bunch of various things on the prices from different places, all the way from $1,600 for the standard package, and then like this article says, $2,049 or whatever for the standard package. If you look at that difference between what they're saying, $2,049, and then it's another $750 for the next.
Yeah, $750 for the Flymore.
Doesn't add up, does it? So you're getting two more batteries, and those two more batteries are going to be
two more batteries in a case are $750. Bill. How expensive these batteries going to be, Bill? I mean, even the Autel batteries are only $219, and they're still the Autel batteries still have bigger. They're bigger batteries. They have bigger specs or whatever. So why would these batteries be more than the Autel batteries?
I agree.
Which are bigger and more powerful.
Yeah, the point of it is we're just kind of spitting in the wind right now, and we'll find out what it's all about. And there's got to be more. I also have a hard time accepting that you can't get the smart controller with the not the Senate package. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. So we just got to see what's going on, and all this is all just we're
kind of shooting in the dark here. The other thing, a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Leak specs indicate Mavic 3 has a mechanical shutter. Okay, talked about the Phantom 4 Pro V2.0.
Can I stop you just for a second there with the mechanical
shutter?
Did I also see that it has the choice of using mechanical or digital shutter? I believe I saw that, maybe not in this article, but I have seen that in some of the leaks and that's common to regular cameras, like my mirrorless cameras. I can shoot with the digital or the mechanical shutter. I'm not locked to just one,
Well, it says it right up here, Ron. DJI is anticipated to unveil the Mavic 3 later this autumn. According to Jasper Ellen's leak specs, Mavic 3 camera will feature both a mechanical and an electronic shutter.
Yeah,
so
because in some cases you want the electronic shutter because you can fire faster with the electronic shutter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I kind of wanted to touch base here is, all right, we've heard a lot about release dates.
Mm-hmm.
An awful lot about this. Originally, we were thinking November 15th, but now it looks like it's going to be November the 20th. Okay.
October.
Or October. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mark. October 20th here. So October 20th, 2021.
Well, if it's one thing we know in the drone business, guys, release dates are not kind of hard and fast. They're not hard dates in the drone business.
No, they're not. And Marcus brings up a good point as far as that article was being translated from Russian into English, and a lot can be missed with translations. Okay. It's a miracle that World War III hasn't started because of loss in translations. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, Bill, I guess not even just the translation, but the fact that they might be getting completely different packages than what we get.
Exactly. Europe and the UK may have different options than we have here in North America. And it might be different in Australia as well too. So it's just, it kind of remains to be seen. It remains to be seen. As far as the release is concerned, there's no fanfare. There's no presentation, no pomp and circumstance. At 9 a.m. that day, and it'll be officially on the website. And I imagine now 15 minutes or so before it's going to be kicked out. Here's something very interesting, and I came across this reading all the articles today. All right. It's only going to be available initially on DJI's website. All right. Ooh. That's it. It's not going to be with Amazon, with Best Buy, and others. All right. And, and I know because they know that a number of resellers are not going to be real happy with DJI. And I can tell you that right now because I've talked to some resellers before about some of DJI's past practices. and as far as supplying them, and it's not been a good story for a lot of them. Okay, so your other outfits, you're gonna if you want to get it right away, you're gonna have to buy through DJI. I mean, it's like you kind of got to bite the bullet with this one.
Bill, what is that going to do though to retailers like Best Buy?
Oh, I know.
I mean, if I'm Best Buy, Autel would be my new best friend at that point.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Marcus makes a good point. If I'm Best Buy and somebody comes in looking for the Mavic 3, I just say, you don't want that Mavic 3. I got these Autel drones over here. They're just as good and they cost less. Don't worry about that M3. I got you taken care of right here. If you don't like them, you can just bring them back right to the store. So what's going to happen is with them not having them Best Buy, the Best Buy guy's still going to try to sell them the drone.
Again, this is what I read in an article. Knowing whether or not this is true remains to be seen. The other thing the article did mention is that there's going to be ample supply for when it hits when it actually hits the market. And that's a point that's not lightly taken, because back in 2016 when the original Mavic Pro came out, we all know the debacle that DJI faced. It came out in October 2016, and many people didn't get theirs till January. I mean, it was a disaster because DJI did not anticipate the demand. Well, I think they've anticipated demand. I think from another article I've read, they're making these in more than one production facility. So there's going to be ample supply. And I can tell you this right now, when you order from DJI, I can guarantee you that there is stock sitting in DJI's warehouses in the United States right now. All right. I can tell you that unequivocally. It's ready to rock and roll. All right. And what's nice is, there's one up in New Jersey. There's one in Chicago. I know there's one in Atlanta. There's one out in California. There's one in Chicago. So, they're strategically placed. They are going to get these out quickly.
So I could possibly get one 2 or 3 days after the.
And mine will be the same because it comes from Atlanta. And an advantage for me, I still have like almost $200 in DJI credit that's sitting out there that I can't do that I don't want to do anything with except for this. Okay.
Right. Of course, what about the poor guy that wants to wander in Best Buy a couple of days early and find it already out early on the shelf?
Yeah. This is what that article said. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be the case, because I don't think you want to tick off places like Best Buy, like Amazon, who have been, made an awful lot of money off of this and off of DJI products by not having them available at launch. So that remains to be seen. I mean, that's just what this said. So
how long has DJI had a relationship, we'll just say, with Best Buy? How far does that go back? I mean, like, I know that goes back as far as the Phantom 4.
Because when I got my Autel X-Star Premium, I remember seeing Autel parts, accessories at Best Buy. And I do remember seeing DJI drones at Best Buy, early. And this is when I first started getting into drones back about 2016. So they've been attached with Best Buy for a while. So
yeah, well, we'll see how that plays out. But
yeah, I mean, it's going to happen fast and furious, guys. I mean, we got a lot. I mean, it's going to be head spinning kind of thing.
So get the piggy bank cracked open early, huh?
Oh my! Well, I heard you guys talking about Mikey. He's selling everything but the kitchen sink right now.
Oh, that's a fire sale over there.
Hey,
Well,
Bill,
yeah.
so let me
Sales have been slow so far. I think he sold a smart controller.
Hey, Bill. So Ron and I talked about this yesterday on Drone Nation about, of all those Autel drones, what interests us the most. And I think Ron and I both landed on the Nano Plus. What's the one that piques your interest?
Nano Plus as well. I really, I like the flight time on it. I like that it has the obstacle avoidance sensors on it. I like the camera on it. It sounds really good. And I will say that.
And Hot Rod broke it down to the tracking. It has a superior autofocus system, so it can track objects and not lose them.
See, that and see, I gotta say this. All right, every time I've tried tracking, even with DJI drones, it's not quite there. I've tried it with every DJI drone that I've had, with the Spark, with a Mavic Pro, with the Phantom 4, you name it. I've tried it, and I would say this probably for me, I had the best luck with tracking with the original Mavic Air, believe it or not. Okay. That's the one that tracked the best for me.
Off the subject a little bit, but you brought up the Spark. I saw rumors last week, and I don't know if these are true or not, Bill, but I saw some sites people were referring to a Spark Pro. Have you heard any information? Yeah, seriously, I saw some people seriously talking about a Spark Pro.
Well, and I'm going to kind of echo what Marcus said. It's a great little drone. And, the Achilles heel for that drone, besides the camera not being 4K, which it could have been, all right, is the runtime. Okay. You get out there, you're getting that great shot. Oops, I got to come back. That's a kicker. That's a real kicker with that drone. I mean,
but of course, that drone's what, like, I don't know, over 3. It's over the Mavic 2 Pro. So, I mean, like, shorter flight times were common in that era.
Well, and the other thing to point out on that drone is that was the first selfie drone, and it was never intended to do what we like to do with drones. It was intended for people who go out and take selfies, and that's
but that being said, though, it was the first great small drone.
No question. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, all our minis and all our good small drones. That's the father there, whatever. That was the first great little drone.
Yeah.
Well, I sent out a reminder at the beginning of the show. What's the date for Spin Up, guys?
The 6th.
The 6th.
November.
Okay. All right. So that's that's coming. I mean, it's almost exactly a month away.
Less than a month. And Kelly said there's still a couple rooms left at the Spring Hill Suites.
We're looking forward to seeing you there, Bill.
we got a room reserved for you, Bill.
Well, I got 2 weddings in the family coming up this month. And then coming up in December, my daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter are coming down. So my paid time off is spoken for, unfortunately.
Otherwise, because I think Kelly said he had a Mavic 3 sit pack ready to hand you when you walked through the door.
That is such a shame, isn't it? Well, Ron, he'll just have to give it to you.
Oh man!
You know what? If that drone's out, Kelly. I think last time it's been that he gave every current Mavic drone away. Including RoboMaster.
Yeah.
So I mean, and there was only like about 100 people in that room. So I mean, you had a good shot.
Yeah, you do have a good shot. You really do. I will be watching you guys online because I know he'll stream it. So I'll definitely do that. But as far as I missed technically it was my 40th college reunion the past weekend.
Oh, really?
Actually, well, it was last year, but they kind of postponed it to this year. They only had about 20 people show up. I won't say only 20, but the turnout was kind of down because a lot of people. We had a virtual one last year. So
you zoomed in, huh?
It's like having to take time off from work right now. I've banked all that time for the end of the year for when the kids come down for Christmas, which we're really looking forward to quite a bit. So
you got to enjoy the family. We're just giving you a hard time. But thanks for promoting Spin Up. And I think Johnny and Captain Ray have Kelly on their show Wednesday night. So
yes,
we want to get some late breaking Spin Up information. Go over to the Fly for Fun show at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Time, yeah.
My time. Now, there's another guy on that show, too. It's got a
Billy something or other?
Yeah.
I think he's up in my area. He flies.
Yeah, he's from up around Philadelphia, I think.
Yeah. He flies a drone or two.
He's a buddy with Philly Mike, isn't he? He's one of Philly Mike's buddies.
Yeah.
I think Philly Mike taught him everything he knows.
That's right. That's absolutely. Ron, got any closing thoughts?
No, just I want to thank everybody in the chat here. I see Captain Ray in there. So Ray, I'll give you my address to send that check for giving you that big promo there. But seriously, I want to thank everybody out there in the chat that supported the show tonight. And Bill, thanks for getting a lot of good information about not only the DJI drones but the Autel drones out there. And it will be a busy season coming up, and it could be an expensive season for some of us also. So my advice is. Follow Marcus's stock tips and follow DeMarco's football tips if you want to make some money. So I'll throw it over to Marcus.
Yeah. So, Bill, again, I want to thank you for bringing up all the stuff going on. It's an exciting time in drones right now. We got a ton of stuff going on, ton of really cool stuff, exciting things happening. But that said, this is a wonderful time of year to be out flying. The leaves are changing, etc. Don't let that stop you from getting out and flying what you got and getting some good drone shots. It's I just had great fun flying today. I took 3 mini drones out and had a great time. It's nice shirt sleeve weather, perfect temperature this time of year. Not too hot, not too cold. Get out there and fly your drones. And then we got a lot of stuff to look forward to. Make sure you got your piggy bank full, because I think we're all going to be breaking our piggy banks this fall. So that's about it. Thank you again, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome, Marcus, and thank you guys, both of you guys, for stopping by tonight. And I got to echo you about the weather. It's finally turned here in Florida. It's not in the dreaded mid 90s. It was upper 80s pretty much this past week. The rain has stopped here. Rainy season is kind of officially ended, which is thankful. And our temperatures are finally cooling down, which is nice, and it's comfortable, and humidity's going down as well too. And Marcus said it the best. He said, enjoy the drones that you have right now. Don't let, waiting for a Mavic 3 or, the Nano Plus, don't let that keep you from going out there and enjoying it, especially up north. The fall, that's the biggest thing I miss about Ohio and Pennsylvania this time of year, with the colors and the leaves turning and everything. And it's just such a gorgeous time of year. We don't get that here in Florida, unfortunately. But enjoy it, have a lot of fun. And I got to thank everybody in the chat. You guys have been absolutely stellar with your points and your questions and your comments. And thank you so much, because you guys help make this show go as well too. Thank you for supporting shows like Ron and Marcus, like Drone Nation, Johnny Drone Flyer's show with Captain Ray, Bill Thomas's show, Art's show it's on, Original Dobo, all the shows that are on a weekly basis. Thank you guys for doing that. Thanks to Johnny Drone Flyer for setting up that wonderful spreadsheet that outlines all the other shows. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and thank you. And always, 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 it's a great day to fly.